This
I'm
conference
not
will
getting.
now be recorded.
Actually, as per this, as per you don't know how to read dynamic list, right? You know that how to read string, how to read float value, then how to read string. You know that, but you don't know how to read list concept. I will explain that list how to read dynamically after these five segments. So for this, first we have to, I mean, to complete this assignment, first we have to create a list with few numbers, so that you just open IDE inside your system. There you can create one list. So here I'm going to giving nums. So nums is equal to, here I'm going to giving nums. Now I have this list with me, guys. Now I have this list with me. For you, I'm giving same list I'm forwarding in, same list I'm forwarding here. If possible, you just copy that one. Just go with that list, then you will get more clarity. I created this list. Nums is equal to something values I give. So here I have value, but there is no proper order. Here we have few elements in order. So for this assignment, for this one, I want to print a sum of. I mean, actually, I don't know exact result regarding to this. So for that, I want to perform. I mean, I want to use list iteration. So I think you know. Uh, yes, yes, absolutely, absolutely, fine. Okay, for this here we have list of values now. So each and every time, I mean, here also whatever the string iteration we followed, same way here also we'll follow list iteration also. So we have string iterators, right? How can we iterate string without using length concept, guys? Anybody please respond. Even we can find nums of length, I mean length of the nums we can find by using nums also. We can find nums of 0, nums of 1, nums of 2, something. But that is the basic procedure, we won't go with again in back step. For that we have a iterators, right? Already string iterator is over, like that we have list iterator also. First, if you are clear on list iteration, string iteration, then list iteration is also easy for you. Anybody tell me, how can we iterate string without using length? How can we iterate string without using length? Same concept here, we are going to using list iterators. Actually, iterators we have four different, I mean, uh, four different we have: string iterator, list iterator, tuple iterator, dictionary, and set iterators. We have five. So for this, to complete this assignment, I have to iterate list again. I think you forgot that. It's better to remember everything, guys. Now I am going to iterating for val in. So what is the list name here? What is the list variable here? For val in. So I don't want to use length, in the sense we don't go with range method, we have to go with list directly, that is nums. Whatever the name here I specify, either it is a list, either it is a set, either it is a tuple, either it is a digit, I mean either it is a dictionary, whatever it is, we have to specify inside the here, we have to specify in for val in. You can able to specify string variable here, or else you can able to specify list variable here, or else you can specify tuple variable, set variable, or dictionary variable, whatever it is. Then we will call, if it is existed here, either it is set, dictionary, something, then we will call that is that concept dictionary, that concept iterators. Now for val in nums, so that means these loop will be iterate up to this list, up to this list. So here we are going to performing sum, right? Sum of the digits now. For that case, we have to remember few things. We have to remember two lines. So what is the in that, what is the first line? Now I am going to iterating a loop, so that is done. Now I want to find sum. For that, what we have to do first? Absolutely, Sudarshan, absolutely. What we have to do? We have to initialize sum is equal to 0. We have to initialize a variable sum is equal to 0, because we are going to perform sum now. We have to initialize sum is equal to 0. Even for counting also we have to initialize 0, because we are going to performing addition operation. If you are going multiplication, in that what we have to initialize value? Here I am going to performing sum, so that I am using 0. Now you are going to writing a logic related to multiplication. For that case, what we have to specify value here? Just remember, guys, for multiplication, 0 multiply value will be 0. So for that we have to, while going to multiplication, we have to initialize value is equal to 1. Absolutely, either it is mul is equal to 1 or else product is equal to 1. For multiplication purpose, we have to specify 1 initial value. For sum, we have to initialize value is 0. Now that is over. Now inside, so if in first iteration we are getting value 1 from, in first iteration we are getting value 1 from our list. So inside now we have val. Now I want to perform some operation. For that, what is the next statement we have to write here? Now we have sum with us. Sum is equal to 0. So what is the next statement inside loop? We have to specify sum plus is equal to sum plus is equal to, we have to specify what? Val. We have to specify val. That means whatever the value is coming from this list, we have to perform addition with that sum is equal to sum plus 1. So for your clarity, we can able to write this statement like this also. Sum is equal to sum plus val. Sum plus val. If you are going to performing count, in that we have to specify here value 1. Instead of val, we have to specify 1 here if you are going to performing count operation. So now we are getting each and every iteration, we are getting value, we are getting list value from this list. Then we are storing inside a variable, that is val. After getting value inside val, we have to perform, we have to add that val to some variable. That means sum is equal to whatever the value is existed in previous inside sum. For that value, we are going to performing iteration value, that is val. Then we are storing inside sum only. Meaning of this statement is this, guys. Instead of writing sum is equal to sum plus value, we are writing sum plus is equal to val. That is addition assignment operator we are going to using. So that is enough, guys. Now we just print, some variable. Just print some variable. Save this one. So list sum. I'm giving name this for this. That is list sum dot py. I'm giving. Then this is enough, guys. This loop will be iterate up to the length of this list. Up to the length of this list, it will iterate, because we are going to iterating list iterator concept we are going to using. So here we are going to using list iterators we are using. So here nums is the list type, so that I am calling this is a list iterator. List iterator I am calling. So in first iteration, nums will be store 1 inside value. So we are performing sum already. Initially sum is equal to 0, so that sum is equal to sum plus val, in the sense 0 plus 1 is 1. Then value will be, some value will be replaced with 1. In second iteration, nums will nums will keep this 2 inside val. So in second iteration, already in first iteration we have some value is 1, so that 1 plus coming value is 2, that is 3 will be stored inside sum. Each and every iteration, it will call existing value, then it will add existing value with iteration value. So we just observe that result, then you will get more clarity. So here we are getting 746 is the sum value. So each and every time we are going to performing addition of these values. So first we are going to performing addition 1 plus 0, then we are storing inside sum only. Then in second iteration, we are storing 2 addition value already inside sum, we have 1 plus 2 is 3. Then in third iteration, inside sum we have a value 3 plus this value 3, that is 6. So here the entire thing is happened here, guys. For that only I wrote these two statements. I am going to initializing sum is equal to 0, then just for value in nums, that is list iterator I am doing. List iterator I am going to using. This nums iterator will be store value from list inside a val. In each and every iteration, it will store value inside val. This value is performing sum with with sum. So that's it, guys. This is the, actually this is the procedure we have. If you are if you don't want to use all these lines, for that we have a default function, that is sum. So I will just comment this one. So instead of writing this, to perform sum of list, to perform list of sum, we have a we have a default function with us, that is sum of. So what is the list variable here? Nums, right? Nums we have, na? So it's just think sum of nums, that is the default function. Sum is the default function. It will take one parameter, either it is list, either it is a tuple. It will take list or tuple as a parameter to perform sum of all these values. By default, this sum method will try to perform all this iteration. So you just observe that result. 746. Now I'm just going to adding one more value here, that is 2 I am giving. 2 I am giving. Now you just observe this result. That is 748. Just this function is enough to perform sum of list of values. Sum of list. Sum is the default function. That's not a method, guys. Remember that. There is a lot of difference between method and function. I mean, in last session I explained to you what is the method, what is the function. So this is belongs to, this is not belongs to any concept. That is general function. I mean, default function built in. This is one of the function in default library or in built-in functions. Okay, I hope it is clear now. You have to remember two methods, guys. You have to remember these two. This is also important, guys. While if you are going to performing uh, digits in some of the digits in a string, then you have to follow this concept. Otherwise, if you are going to performing list or tuple, then you will go with just sum of nums. Okay, while going to performing this sum of nums, you have to check, is that list have any characters in that, is that list have any alphabets in that string or not, in that list or not. If there is no there is no if there is no characters, then there is no issue, you can able to perform sum. Otherwise it can't perform addition with characters. Okay, once you please give me confirmation if you are okay with this. Yes, Prasanna have clear. Sudarshan is also okay. Mani Royal is okay. CSS is okay. Radhika, Ranganayakulu. Okay, that is fine, guys. Thanks Koji, thanks Narsimha. Okay, now we will see another one, another, guys. So another one, what is the next one? Print maximum value in a list. Print maximum value in a list. So for this also same list I'm going to giving, guys. So we have for maximum also we have a default function, guys. So for that just I will print here, just I will print. For this also we have a default function. If you will go, if you search on internet, then you will get answer for that. That is absolutely max is the default function. Max of. So inside nums we have a list of values. So inside these nums, this is a list, that is a static list we have. In that list we have a list of values. In that nums we have list of values. From that list I want to find maximum element. So what is the maximum value in that list, guys? Without running this, you just answer me, what is the maximum number in that list? 556 is the maximum value, right? 556 is the maximum value in that list. Now we will see it. Just say this program, then run module. Run module. 556 is the maximum value, 745 is the sum of those list values. Then same way, what is the third assignment as per this? Print minimum value in a list. So for that, for maximum we have a max function. To perform sum we have sum method. Then to minimum also we have method, that is absolutely Uday, absolutely Prasanna also. Absolutely, for that we have a default function print of. We are going to performing min of nums. min of nums. So these min also default function in Python. For that min we have to pass either list or tuple as a parameter. As a parameter we have to pass. So save this one, just run. Now what is the minimum value in that list, guys? What is the minimum value in that list? 1 is the minimum value, right? So you just see here, run module. Sorry, unexpected string, we have to close one more bracket, sorry for that. Save the changes again, then run module. Now so 748 is the sum of the list, then 556 is the maximum value, 1 is the minimum value. Okay, that is over. Absolutely, we have. I mean, I will show you. I will show you. You don't worry. I will show you that one also. So here you just observe. So one of your friend suggesting that is Sudarshan Amepalli. We have another way, that is first we have to sort the list and then slicing forward and backward either. That's fine. For that we have to write. We have to perform one more statement, right? Just observe that, Sudarshan. So here I'm right. I mean, here we have a direct functions. Na? Direct functions we have to find sum and to find sum of the list, maximum and minimum. If you will go with you, if I will go with you, then first I have to sort the list, entire list. Then I have to using slicing. For getting a sort in the sense, it will try to arrange elements in from low level to high level. So for you, I will give that one also. So instead of these two guys, instead of these two, your friend suggesting me that is to finding maximum and minimum. I will show that one also. So first we have to sort the list entire. So actually here we have a list in an order, right? Now I have to sort those elements. So nums dot sort, sort is the method. It is belongs to list concept now. So that nums dot sort I am calling, nums dot sort I am calling, that is over. Now I want to print. Now just print some nums ones is that nums is in proper in ascending order or not, we have to check it now. Now I'm performing nums of sort. That means I'm trying to arranging elements in a proper order. Actually here these elements are not in proper. I have to make them as a proper. So that reason I'm calling sort method now, nums dot sort. Now I'm printing that nums is that is elements are sorted or not. So for that case I'm printing that nums again. So see here. So what happened? So here elements are sorted in proper way. In proper way it is sorted. Okay, now it is easy for us to find. I mean, in this case we have to find. Now we just observe while performing sorting method. Now where at which position minimum value is existed, guys? Now I'm sorting elements. I don't want to call max and minimum methods to find maximum and minimum value. Now I'm sorting. Now you just absolutely no Sunita, minimum value is existed at which position? Minimum value is existed at zeroth position. That is zeroth position. Then maximum value is existed where? No need. Maximum value is existed at which position? That is end of the list. So how can we get maximum value now? Now I want to print maximum value after this sorting. After this sorting I want to print maximum value. How can I print, guys? How can we print maximum value after sorting the elements? Absolutely. No. Print off. So you have to use proper brackets, Sudarshan. That is nums of index brackets we have to use nums of -1. So here you can observe. So here, sorry, here we have maximum element, that is end of the element now. So that for accessing this one we have to go with backward index. Same way I want to print minimum element. I want to print minimum element from this list. So for that how can we? This one is existed at which position? Zeroth position it is existed, right? So that we have to print. We have to print. We have to print nums of 0. Nums of 0. That is fine. Now we just save this one. Then run module. So this is 748 is the sum of the list. I mean sum of those list values. Then this is sorting result. After calling sort method, nums dot sort. I just call it sort method. So this sort method will affect original list, guys. It will try to affect in original list so that I'm not storing in any variable. Sort nums dot sort. Then print nums. So after sorting all elements in an ascending order, I'm printing like this. Now I have nums of -1, that is maximum element is existed at end of the list. So that I'm using backward indexing, that is -1 I'm specifying nums of -1. Now minimum element is existed at 0th position, so that nums of 0 I'm using. So we have two ways, guys. If you want to go with sorting, I mean, so sorting, then printing maximum and minimum, then you can go. Otherwise, we have a direct methods: print of max of nums, print of min of nums. Whatever the way, there is no issue. If you will go with this minimum and max element, then there is no need to call sort. There is no need to write one more statement. You can write single line is enough for that. If you want to sort this one, for that we have to write one statement, print of sort, then we have to print nums of -1 and 0 something. That's it. Actually there is no issue. Whatever the way, if you are feeling comfortable, you can go those. There is no issue. Okay, I hope it is clear now. How to get max and minimum by using max, by using min. Then another way is by using sorting also. If you have issue, please let me here. Tell me here. I will clarify you. Clear. So that's clear. Money clear. Money royal is also clear. Absolutely. If they ask to print without using inbuilt functions, then for that case, we have to write basic. For that case, we have to use basics logic. That is very basic logic. For that, we have to compare each and every time. We have to iterate a value. We have to compare. Max, they won't ask you, Monica. If in case they will ask you, for that case, I will forward the logic to you. Okay, because for that you have to iterate a loop. You have to check each and every iteration. You have to check minimum value. Each and every time we have to check minimum value. For that we have to write 6 to 10 lines of code. 6 to 10 lines of code. If they will ask like that, then there is no use to come Python, right? The main motto of coming for moving to Python is we have a default functions without writing logics again. We have a Python, so that we have default functions. That is the main reason we are coming to here. Max, they won't ask you 90%. They won't ask you, Monica. If in case they have to check your internal knowledge also, then they will ask you. For that also there is no issue. That is just 5 to 6 lines. Okay, if you have a time, then I will explain to you. You please remember me end of the session or end of this workshop. Okay. Okay, that is fine. Now we will see second one. I mean, third assignment, fourth assignment. That is print second max in a list, then print second min in a list. Now here we have a list with us. That is now what is the second minimum value in that list, guys? Now what is the second minimum value in that list? Second minimum is 2. Second minimum is 2. We know that. What is the second max in that list? Second max 54. Now so you just observe, so how can we get second max, guys? I mean second max from this list. You just give me a statement. Second max is a 54. It is existed in it is existed at which position? Nums of -2. Absolutely, -2. That is fine. Everyone knows that, na? Everyone knows that. Now second minimum. How can we get second minimum, guys? Just observe, at 0th position we have first minimum. Even at second position, first position we have 0 minimum. Then and in second position we have second minimum, right? If you know that, I mean, now we have with us list. If in case if I will give another list, then is that your program is dynamic? Right now here just observe, we know one existed twice now, so that we are saying at first position, I mean at second position minimum value is existed. If in case user, I mean client going to giving I mean different way. If I have 556 twice, in that case it is easy to find second minimum, guys. In case if this one is repeated 3 times, in that case shall we keep like that nums of 2? Is it is acceptable? Right now we have only 2, so that we are keeping nums of 2. If in case if I have this one 5 to 6 times, in that case we can't specify fixed value, I mean fixed position. Even for maximum also we can't specify. So if in case if you'll go with second max, then it is existed because first maximum existed only once. If you want to access third minimum, third max value, that is 34 is the third max element, so that is existed minus 4th position. In that case it is too difficult for us, guys. So for that case what can we do, guys? For making to keep that second max and second max in -2 position, I mean we have to keep second max in -2 position, second minimum in 1 position. For that case what can we do? Now we have list with us, right? In that list we have duplicates also. Second minimum repeated two times, even first minimum repeated two times, second minimum repeated three times, third minimum repeated three times, fourth minimum repeated four times, then second max repeated two times. In that case, what can we do to get values, proper values? You just assume yourself. What we have to do to remove those duplicates, I mean sorry, first we have to remove duplicates, right? Then only we will get proper values now. Here these 54 repeated two times, so 50 repeated two times now, so that we can able to get max value. So here one repeated one time, two times it is repeated, so that reason we have to remove duplicates first. We have to remove this entire duplicates first, then only we have to go with, I mean we have to go with another one. I mean we have to, then only we will get proper list. So for that case first we have to do that one, then only we can get proper values. Otherwise otherwise you just see here. So I'm copying this entire list, I'm just copying this entire list. So I will show you in ideally in here I will show you, then you will get more clarity. Now I have list of elements, I want to sort them. Nums dot sort, nums dot sort I am giving. So nums of -1 position we have first maximum element, sorry, that is nums of minus position. At minus position we have first maximum element. So second maximum element is existed at -2 position, that is fine. Even nums of minus third position is existed, same, there is a duplicate value. When I click on, when I search for nums of -3, that is we have to get third minimum value, third maximum value we have to get. That means 45 repeated, 54 repeated two times now, we have to remove those duplicates. Even nums of, for getting minimum value we have to, we are going to using nums of 0. Again there is one another for getting nums of 1, in the sense that is minimum value. When I click on nums of 1, I have to get second minimum value. So for that case, for this case, we have to remove duplicates from this list. From this list, that means we won't affect original list. We have to keep original list as it is. We have to keep original list as it is, but we have to create another list, that is unique list. We have to take only unique values from this list. That means we have to take one only once. Actually here we have one two times now, but we have to consider one time only. We have to consider one time only. For that case we have to do this, guys. Just I'm copying this list, I'm taking new file, so here I'm taking same list again. So for this first we have to, from this original list, without affecting this one, we have to, for to complete this assignment, we have to take unique values. We have to take unique values, I mean unique values in the sense we have to keep all unique values in another list. In another list we have to keep, so that I'm taking unique, just I'm giving unique list. Unique list is equal to, I'm specifying empty list here. So that unique list, in a sense I have to take each and every value from this list. I mean I have to take values from this list, I want to store here. If this one is repeated two times, I mean this one repeated two times in this list now, so that I have to keep one time here. So two repeated three times, but I have to keep only one two here. Then three repeated three times, but I have to keep only one three here. Then four repeated four times, but I have to keep only one time in this unique list. Five repeated one time, I have to keep that one here. Six also repeated two times, but I have to keep six in one time. Then 556 and 54 repeated 34, 54, 556. We have to store single values in here. For that we have to do like this, guys. Just we have to do this by using membership operators. We can complete this assignment. So see here, for I in, so what is the list here? I mean list iterator I'm going to use it for I in nums. For I in nums. Now we are getting value. Right now in first iteration, what is the value inside I, guys? In first iteration, what is the I value? That is 1. That is the 1. Now where I have to store this one value, guys? Where I have to store this I value? If that one is not existed in this unique list, is not existed, absolutely in new list we have to store. First we have to check is that I value is existed in the new list or not. If it is existed, what can we do, guys? If that value is existed in unique list, what we have to do? Just assume yourself. You just think your own, guys. If that I value is existed that new list, what can we do? What we have to do in that case? Is there is any necessity to do something? No. You have to you have to observe, you have to listen my word. If this I value is existed in that unique list, it is already existed in that unique list. In that case, what I have to do? Then there is no need to remove. We have to ignore it. If that value is already existed in that unique list, we have to ignore that. If it is not existed, yes, absolutely, don't print I value. We don't print that value. If it is not existed, what can we do? If this I value is not existed in this unique list, in that case, what I have to do? We have to store it here. Printing is not a matter. We have to add, absolutely, we have to store inside unique list. So for that case, we are going to using membership operator. We have to check, is that I value is existed in that list or not. I think you heard about membership operators, right? Membership operator will return which type of result, guys? Do you know membership operators? Absolutely, that is boolean. What are the membership operators, guys? Absolutely, Sunita, absolutely. Those are membership operators are in and not in. Those operators will return boolean values, either true or false cases it will give. So so we have to use that one. If these I value, iteration value, I is the iteration variable, right? Iteration value. If I not in, so where we have to check, is that I value not in which list we have to check? Where we have to check that I value? Inside original list and duplicate list? No. Exactly, new list we have to check, that is unique list. If these I value, already we are getting this list from nums only, right? We are getting I value from nums now, so that we won't check inside nums. It is existed in that. We are getting value from nums, then we are checking that I value, in that unique list. If it is not existed, in that list, what I have to do, guys? We have to store that I value inside unique list. So how can we store that value? Anybody? Just here I'm getting true from that list. If I inside we have value 1 not in unique list. Actually here at initially unique list empty, right? Empty na. So that I'm checking 1 not in unique list. So what it returns? Not in function will return true, because 1 is not existed in unique list. That is true. That is the true, not existed. So we are getting true. In that case, what we have to do? 1 is not existed in that unique list, so we have to store that one inside unique list na. Inside unique list we have to store. So how can we store, guys? How many ways we have to store that I value, in a list? Last session I explained to you guys how many ways we have to store a value inside a list. 2 ways we have. Oh, fine. What are those? Guys? Now I have to store one inside. Absolutely, Sunita, absolutely. Those are insert and append. Now which one is better here, guys? Which method is better here, insert or append? For insert we have to pass two different parameters. For append, absolutely guys, append is the best source, because append will store values in end of the list. So storing position is not important for us. Storing position is not important. We have to store unique values. That is our motto, that is our main motto. Okay, if I will go with insert, how many parameters we have to pass insert method? For insert, how many parameters we have to pass? You have to remember everything. No. For insert method we have to pass two methods, Sudarshan and Sunita. We have to pass two different methods for that. One is the position, another one is the value. At which position you want to store, we have to specify for insert. But for append there is no need. We have to pass single one. So here our original list unique dot append I am calling. Unique dot append of. So here I have to say, I have to keep I, because In this I, we are getting value from, I mean, we are each and every iteration I getting value from nums we are getting. That's it, that is over. Now we will print version list along with, if in case here I'm not telling anything guys, if this condition is true then only we have to key, we have to store. That means if I value not existed in that unique list, then only I'm saying append that value. If it is existed, if I value is existed in that unique list, I'm not giving any case here, I'm ignoring that's it. That means I'm not keeping any else case here, I'm just ignoring that one. Now I am printing original list. So what is the original list here? What is the original list here guys? Nums, absolutely, that is nums. Then what is the unique list here? That is unique list. So you just save this one first, you just save this one. So we have to save this one. Sorry, so we have to save this one. So second max dot py, second max and second min dot py, that is over. Now we will run module, just run module. So see here, this is the original list 1 2 3 something, then this is the duplicate, I mean unique list. So here you can observe there is no duplicate value, right? One existed only once, two existed only once, three repeated only once, 4 5 6 4 56 54 and 34. So for that, for getting this unique list, I just did this. I created one unique list because each and every time, I mean, we have to get unique values now. We want to store unique list in one list, so that I'm taking empty list here. Then I'm iterating a loop for getting value from original list. Then from original list we are getting one value. Then we are storing inside I. We are checking that I value is existed inside unique list or not. If it is not existed, if that value is not existed, then only I have to append that value. If it is existed, then we have to do nothing. After this loop, we are printing original list along with unique list. I hope it is clear to you all. So learning concept is not important guys. Theoretical part is not necessary. We have to work out on problem solving only. If you have problem, I mean, right now organizations, I mean, requires students who have programming knowledge. Even they are not considering their communication skills also. 5 years back they are I mean expecting communications along with programming knowledge. I mean software industries will find persons like that. Right now they are not concentrating on communication, just they are expecting what you did while writing your, I mean while resolving that problem, I mean for resolving that problem, just they are expecting like that. Even minimum English communication is enough to explain your program. I hope talking general matter, that is too difficult, but we can able to explain our program, right? What we did, just they expect problem solving only guys. I think you all are from second year and third years, I think so. So for you, this is the right time to improve your programming skills. Okay, don't take this is a burden or something. You have to practice, then you will get everything. So now I'm getting unique list. Now what we have to do guys, now we are getting unique list with us, right? So we have to do something. Now I want to get first max, first, I mean second max and second minimum. For that, what we have to do guys, for that what we have to do? Absolutely, Sudarshan. Absolutely. So for getting second max, we have to. I mean, in this list, if I apply, if we will get second minimum, second, I mean second max or second minimum, too difficult, because we have to sort the. I mean, for that we have to sort this original list. I mean, unique list, so that unique list dot. I'm going to sorting now. I'm going to starting now. So for your clarity, you just print unique list again. Unique list again. So observe, this is the original list. After original list we are getting unique list, then I'm sorting that unique element. Now you just tell me, how can I print second max and second minimum? Now I want to print second. Now it is easy to print second minimum and second max, third minimum and third max, right? So now I want to print second max. How can I print guys? How can I print second max? Second max is, so how can I print second max? nums of, sorry, that's not nums, we can't use nums, Mr. Sudarshan. We have to get from where we have to get. So we are getting, we have values here na. Second max is existed, absolutely Radhika, absolutely. That is from unique list we have to find, we have to get unique list of -2. So inside unique list we have unique values na. Then same way I have to print second minimum. Second minimum, how can we get second minimum? How can we get second minimum, guys? That is no, there is no need to use max again. No need to call max method. Max method will return from entire list, it will consider maximum value. We won't use maximum. Here we have to specify unique of index brackets 1, we have to specify. Don't use max of unique of 1 something 2. That is wrong procedure, guys. So second maximum is 54, second minimum is 2. Now how can we find third maximum, third minimum, guys? Now how can we find third max and third minimum? How can you print third max and third minimum? Absolutely, unique of -3, that is third max element. Then third minimum element is existed at second position. Absolutely, guys, that's it. So for getting second max, second minimum, third max, third minimum, you have to go with this sorting technique, guys. You have to find unique list. This is the basic procedure. Not only Python, if you go with another programming languages, there also you have to get unique list first. Unique list you have to get from original list. Here I'm not disturbing original list, guys. I'm keeping original list as it is, but I'm getting unique values from by using this iteration. By using this iteration, in this iteration I am writing condition, is that value is existed in empty list or not. If it is not existed, then only you just append. If it is existed, you just ignore. You have to follow these procedures, guys. Okay, that is over. Now I want to print second min, third max and third min, right? So that third max is existed at third position, second third minimum position at third max, third min. Here is F5. Second max is 54, second min is 2, third max is 34, third min is 3. Now, one of your friend few days back, one of your friend asked us, that is print values, number with count. Now in that case it is easy, guys. Now I want to print one hyphen its count, two hyphen its count, three hyphen its count, like 5 hyphen its count, 6 hyphen its count, 556 hyphen its count, 54 upon its count, 34 its upon its count. I think I don't know exact name, who asked that. So now it is easy for you guys. Now it is very easy to print value along with count. So how many times one repeated in that list, two repeated how many times, three repeated how many times. So for that also we have to iterate a loop, guys. We have to iterate a loop, then that is easy for us. By using this unique list, we have to iterate the two. We have to check that I value inside our num, then you will get the result. So for you I will explain that. So you just see here, so for that we have to iterate a loop for j in. So now we have to iterate a loop based on unique values. Based on unique list we have to iterate, that is, sorry, based on unique list. By using this unique list, I want to print, because if I will start iterating this value, then how many times it will iterate, guys? 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14 15 16 17 18 19. 19 times it will reiterate. If I will reiterate this value to print values with count, 19 times you have to iterate. If I will use this unique values, this will be iterate 6 7 8 9, 9 times only it will iterate. So that I am going to iterating unique list here. Sorry, I am going to iterate unique list for j in unique list. That is over. Now I want to find a count of values. For that, which method we have to use, guys? For that, which method we have to use? I want to know how many times a value is repeated in a list. For that, we have a special method in Python, in list. Do you know that which one we have to use? Absolutely, count is the method. Count is the method. So for that, now we are getting a value from now we are getting a value, unique value we are getting from j. Now I want to find this I inside numbers, right? Then only we will get count na. We have to check this I value is we have to check this I value is repeated how many times in that list, then only we will get. So that reason here I am going to printing something, print of. So what we have to print? We have to print j along with count. J, we have to print j along with his count. So that is just I'm giving arrow marks here. Just I'm giving arrow mark. I want to print j, then arrow mark, then I want to print count. So we have to check this account of j inside original list, so that I'm using nums dot count of, that is j, that is j. That's it, guys. Just, I mean, for that you have to add these two lines on. So run module. So see here, so we are getting original list, so then we are getting unique list, then after getting unique list we are sorting them, then we are printing first maximum, I mean second maximum, second mean, third maximum, third mean. Now one repeated two times, two repeated three times, three repeated three times, four repeated four times, five repeated one time, six repeated two times, 34 repeated one time, 54 repeated two times, 56 repeated one time. For this, for getting a value with count, you have to get unique list, guys. Then only that is easy for you. Otherwise you have to get two difficulties, I mean few issues you will get. I hope it is clear now what we did by using unique list. After getting unique list, you please respond me once. Yes, Sudarshan have no issue, Narsimha also clear, Chandra Royal clear, Prasanna is clear, Radhika and Monica says clear, Sunita is clear, Mani Royal is also clear, Superjay is also fine. Thank you, guys. Thanks for your response. Now we will see another one. So what is the rest one? So minimum, second minimum is also clear now. I hope we have no issue with this, right? No one have no issues with these 5 assignments. If you are okay with this, I mean along with I explained another assignment also, that is uh, printing count of count of each number in a list. We printed count of each number in a list. That is also over. Now we will see getting, I mean actually here we are taking static value now. I hope you observed this one, right? Yes, sure. So I will forward this one here. Please copy this. Just I'm copying this one. I'm pasting in chat box, guys. If need, you please take this. Okay. Just you have to analyze everything, guys. As a CSC student, we have to learn analyzing. We have to analyzing. Otherwise, if you have no analyzing skill, then we have to face issues. Okay, that is fine. Now we will see. Actually, here we are explaining something that is fine, but we are taking static list. Going static, that is wrong procedure, guys. Now we have to see. Now we will see how to read list dynamically. So for that, I will give few examples, guys. So reading. So I will give dynamic list, dynamic list generation, dynamic list generation. Now I have to generate list dynamically in a single line. That means, so for that I will give requirements, input I will give. So input, you just follow me, guys, then you will get clarity. So just I want to give enter, so enter nums, enter nums. So for user I want to show that like that I have to show a message that is enter nums. So here I'm giving something like this, something you are giving. So here, so enter a number, in the sense we are going to reading input method na? Input method we will use to get these values. So for that case we have to we have a special method, guys. I will show you. Then I want to print output like this, output like in a proper list. Actually we are reading a string. 2 I want to keep 2 comma 3 comma 4 comma 5 comma 6 comma 7 comma 8 comma 9. I want to print this one. We have to read values like this, then we have to generate dynamic list like this. We have to generate dynamic list. For that we have a single line, guys. We will see it. How can we read that? Okay, I hope it is clear now what I'm going to explaining. I'm just giving theory here. If you are clear with this, then I will show you program. That is important thing, guys. By using string method, we have to get list dynamic list. By using string method, one of the string method I didn't explain it to you. Now we will see that one. Okay, so come back to here. Just take new file. Just take new file. Now first we have to show a message to user, right? First we have to show a message to user, that is enter nums. Enter nums we have to do. So that I'm taking, just I'm giving li is equal to input of. I want to show you a message. We are not getting integer value, guys. We are trying to reading numbers in list format. We have to read. That is our main motto. We have to get these entire numbers. Actually we are giving single line, but instead of taking these as an integer, I mean we can't take a single value with spaces as an integer, right? So that reason I didn't specify it here. Input of, I want to show a message, enter nums, enter nums. I'm going to showing a message to user, enter nums. That is over. Now you just print li. So what is the type of that li now, guys? Just I'm going to saving this. So for this I'm giving dynamic list gen, dynamic list gen dot py I'm giving. So dynamic, just run module. So I'm copying this list again. Just I'm copying this entire thing here, 2 3 4 5 values, because I have to run number of times na. Run module. So here I'm giving that input, that is 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9. Now now just assume yourself, what is the type of these values now. I'm giving 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 na. Now what is the type of this value? Is it will give list of values or is it will give string value? No, we are giving integers, but here we didn't apply int method na. So how it will consider this entire statement as a string? It will consider this entire statement as a string. For your clarity, you just print type of that li. For your confirmation, just check it. That is, again I'm giving same thing. That is, it is integer. I mean it is a string type. That is value is 2 3 4 5 8 9. Now I want to make them as a list. I mean I'm reading string here. I'm reading, if by using this procedure we are reading string. But now I want, now instead of reading these strings, I want to read like as a list. So that reason, for that we have a special method in Python, that is that is string dot. We can able to use split method, guys. So for your clarity, I will give one special thing. S is equal to hi, hello, how are you. That is a string. Now I want to make this entire string as a words. What I want to make, now I have a sentence with me, guys. Just observe me clearly. Now I have a list with, I mean sentence I have. Hi, hello, how are you. Now you just answer me, how can we say a statement as a sentence? How can we say a statement as a sentence? Now I'm telling this is hi, hello, how are you is a statement, a sentence. How can I say like that? Anybody? What is the meaning of sentence? Group of characters? No. Group of characters in the sense that is word. Group of characters in the sense that is a word. Now I'm telling sentence na. Sentence in the sense group of words. Absolutely. Group of words are called as a, or its group of strings. Group of words are called as, or collection or something, whatever it is. That is a sentence. Now I want to make this sentence as a words. I want to make this entire sentence as a words, guys. Based on what I can make this sentence as a words. You just listen my words clearly. Now I have a sentence with me, that is hi, hello, how are you. Now I want to make that entire sentence as a words. So based on what I can make them as a words. how can you consider those words in that sentence? Slices, slices are spaces. Narasimha, dividing the string based on what? You can divide string based on what? Absolutely, Radhika. That is spaces. So here you can observe. So hi is a one word. Hi is a one word. Hello is a one word. How is one word. Are is one word. You is one word. Because in each and every word there is a space, right? In each and every word there is a space. Based on that space we are saying that is a sentence. Is that is right, guys? Based on the spaces we are saying words. Hi is the one word. If there is no space, how can we read? That is reading procedure different now. I hope I am clear. I think I am clear, right? Based on the spaces we are considering words now. So that here also we have a special method in Python, I mean inside string, that is split. Split is the method. Split is the method. Split will take by default space as a delimiter. Space as a delimiter. See here, now string is the method, right? S is the method. Dot split. Dot split. Sorry, spelling. Split. So split is the method. So for your clarity, here I am suggesting separator is none. Maximum splits is -1. Up to, I mean, it will try to return. Consider up to end of the string. It will consider so that it is saying something to us. Now return a list of the words in the string using separator as a delimiter. So what is the delimiter here? Space as the delimiter. Based on the space, I mean this split method will consider space as a delimiter to separate sentences as a words. That is the importance of this split, guys. So to resolve, I already told you, without knowing string concept, list, dictionaries, sets concept in Python, you can't resolve, you can't make a solution in Python programming. Because in that split is an important statement. First you have to use split, then only you can do something. Even if you will go with HackerRank or HackerRate, maximum companies will go with HackerRank or HackerRate platform to conduct exam students. So in those platforms they are suggesting split because they will give numbers in a single line. They will give numbers in single line. You have to read those values in proper order. So now you can observe what is the result here, guys. What this split method is going to do. So I will take one more 10 more minutes, guys. I don't want to leave this concept here only. Tomorrow we will go with a new concept. I hope that is okay to you all. Okay, wait for 10 more minutes. Okay, now you just observe what is the split, what the split method is going to do here. Everybody please respond, because split is the important one method, guys. Without having split method, even from last 2 years I'm also going to attending few competitive exams. Even I'm going to conducting competitive exams, guys. There I'm observing 90%, 90 no 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 99% problems depends on split only. Because we have to split that numbers. If that problem belongs to numbers, then we have to use split. That is necessary to include there. Now answer me once, what this split method is going to do. Now we have yes with us. Inside we have a sentence. It is converting into list. Absolutely, this split returns list. That is also important thing, guys. What is the return type of that split method? That is list. Split method will returns list of values. That means actually inside else we have a sentence that is hi, hello, how are you. When I call this split method by default will take space as a delimiter to convert this entire sentence as a words. Now you can observe. So based on this space, the split method taking one high that is keeping inside one list. Split keeping all those words inside after splitting those words based on the spaces, it is keeping inside a list. You have to remember these 2 points, guys. Split method will try to will separate will convert sentence as a words based on the spaces. Then it will store all words in a list format. You have to remember that. That is over now. Now here also I'm going to same concept I'm going to applying, guys. Same, even here we have a space as a default delimiter. If in case if I will give another way, I will give another statement here, that is Now I'm keeping word like this. In that case, what is the delimiter, guys? I'm trying to giving number of ways to you guys. You have to remember everything, because we don't know how the requirement you will get. Now tell me how can I make this sentence as a words. Now what is the delimiter between each and every word? Now what is the delimiter between each and every word? Special character we have, that is hash. So by default, what is the delimiter inside split, guys? By default, what is the delimiter inside split? By default, what is the delimiter inside split method? That is space. Absolutely, space is the default delimiter. Now I want to specify delimiter, that is hash. That is the hash. Now here is observe. Hi, in between hi and hello there is hash. In between hello and how there is a hash. How and r there is hash. R and u there is a hash. Now I'm giving hash. Now we're getting same sentence. Now I'm getting same list again, but I'm giving delimiter here externally. You have to remember this one. By default, split method will take space as a delimiter. Otherwise, if you want to give another one, you can give. Now same concept I'm going to applying here. Now here I want to use split. So so you know that when I run this program, we're getting something, that is I'm going to passing numbers 243. Now that is string type, right? Now I want to convert this entire sentence. Actually here we are calling sentence 2345, all this is a string. Now I want to convert these numbers as a like a individual number. For that case, while reading I am calling in split method. While reading sorry while reading I'm calling this split method. After reading that entire statement, I'm calling split. That means now you can observe what is the type of li. Just save this one, run module. It is asking entering input to me. It is asking enter a number, num something. Now you can observe. Now what is the type of this one, guys? I just added this statement here, guys. Just added dot split. That means while reading these numbers I want to convert them as a list. Now I'm getting list type, guys. Now here we have to do something. What we have to do, guys? We are getting numbers fine, but all those numbers belongs to which type, guys? All these numbers belongs to which type? Are you sure? Sudarshan and Prasanna, please observe my screen. All are belongs to which type? 2 existed in quotation, 3 existed in single quotation, 4 5 6 7 8 9 all are existed in single quotations, because we are reading string, we are applying string method here. Both are belongs to string type na. So that this input method returns a list with string values. Now I want to, while reading these values, I want to make them as a, I want to keep that entire thing as a, read entire thing in list format only. Just I'm keep commenting this one. By using this we are getting uh, so by using this we are getting string values. Now I want to, by using here I want to get, here I want to read now I want to I want I want to read integers from user in a single line. In the same we will give I will give like this 1 2 3 4 I will give. Instead of reading list with characters, list with strings, I want to reading numbers only. So that reason we have to make few changes in here. We have to use a special method, guys. That is map. Sorry, that's not a map. We have a list method, guys. List method. List of map of just int comma. Now we have to close everything. Now here I'm using, so for your clarity, just I'm removing this. For getting like that, we have to use list of. List is the method, guys. List is the method. At the same time, list is a data structure. At the same time, list is a data structure. List is a data type. List is the method. We are calling 3. Now I'm calling map is the built-in method. This method will take, each and every iteration. Just here Now I'm getting 2 now. Instead of getting these 2 in string format, we have to get integer format. In integer format, that means before storing these 2 inside list, here just observe, I'm using list method. List method. That means before storing these 2 inside list as a string, I want to convert these 2 into integer. For that case, I'm using map, guys. List is a method. It will try to generate a list. Just it will try to arrange this list concept to us. It won't do anything here. List method won't do anything here. Just getting values, it will store inside list. Actually, while defining list, I gave 2 different ways, right? We have a basic procedure that is like this. We can able to define list like this, or else we can able to do list of brackets. List of function we will specify. So for that, here I'm using list of. This map method will consider each and every, I mean, before getting this value as a string, we want to convert it, then we have to store inside list. For that, I'm using map method. Now for this map, I have to pass 2 different arguments, that is the integer. Then we have to read value, input of dot. So input method, we have to show a message, right? That is enter nums. I have to show, enter nums I have to show. Then I have to call split num. We have to get something, right? We have to get split. Now here we just observe map taking 2 different parameters. One is the integer method. Now here int is a default method. Default method, like int of input we are writing now, same way we are applying here. But for a single value, we will use int of input. But here we are getting list of values now. By using this input of enter nums split method, we are getting list of values, right? List of integers we are getting. So for converting them in a single line, we have to go with map of int method input dot split method will return, I mean will give this list method. After generating this list, I have to convert this first. This map method will consider, will take this 2, will read 2 from this list, then it will call to input method int of 2. So it will return value 2 in integer, then list method will store inside li. Now we can observe, guys. Just observe here. Just run module. Now just I'm copying same string here again. Control C, I'm giving nums. Now see here, now we are getting list again. Now I'm getting list again. That is, now all values are in, all values in integer, right? All belongs to integer. Int of input, in the sense that is, we will use int of input for converting one value. But we have list of value, we have to convert list of values, I mean list of string values inside list. For that we have to use list of map of function. We have to use map. Will take 2 different parameters. One is the int. Here int is a method. This is the default method. If you want to pass your own method, you can pass, you can mention. I mean later I will explain, after these data structures I will explain map method again. So I hope it is clear now how to read integers from user. So for that you have to remember this statement, guys. This statement is very important to you. So you have to remember, based on the situation you have to remember. If they want to read strings, I mean words, then you go with input of split. If you want to read numbers in a words, then you have to go with list of this statement, guys. Now this is very easy to perform sum and max, everything. So you can able to perform sum of also now. So we can perform sum of those numbers, sum of, that is li. That's it. Run module. So now same concept, whatever we did, we are applying here. Sum of those values is 44. I hope it is clear to you all.